Hi guys, it's Andy from NismoTechUK. Today we're giving an unboxing and overview for Enermax, and this is their LiqTech 120x. Okay, so let's take a look around the box. It's quite an attractive looking box, to be fair. We've got the Enermax logo up at the top here, along with the LiqTech 120x. This is also available in the 240 version, which is obviously a 240mm all-in-one. So we've got all-in-one liquid CPU cooler. Mentions down here all the socket specification as to what it's compatible with. Obviously that will be down below in the actual video. We've got shunt channel technology, 3 cooling modes, high pressure airflow fans, bearing technology, features 2 fans, and detachable blades for easy cleaning and maintenance. Moving on to this side, just a little bit of information, a little bit of a graphic on that side, and then onto the back we come on to the main specification and also the key features. So let's just quickly run through the actual key features. We've got high quality aluminium water block, prevents operating noise and improves cooling efficiency. Patented shunt channel technology, SCT, boosts thermal conductivity and eliminates any heat surge. Precise microchannel cold plate enlarges the cooling surface. Innovative radiator structure provides seamless contact area and increases heat dissipation speed. Double thick radiator enhances heat exchange capacity and cooling performance. High pressure airflow fan with smart APS adjustable peak speed control, providing 3 peak speed RPM options. All-in-one liquid cooling system with maintenance-free pre-filled coolant. Ceramic bearing pump for long lifespan and noiseless operation. Long-lasting rubber tubes ensure zero permeability, and easy to install smart bracket gives perfect contact force with your CPU. So essentially also we've got the high quality aluminium water block, we've got painted in shunt channel technology, high performance airflow fans, and a double thick radiator. So down here we've obviously got the various other little bits of specification, so ones that we haven't covered. The pump MTBF is 50,000 hours, rating at 12 volt, 0.3 amps. The dimension is 120 by 120 on the 25 with regards to the fans. Twister bearing, 100,000 hours of operation, and they can run from 600 up to 1300 RPM, 2000 RPM, and a fantastic 2,500 RPM. The airflow from this is 28.6 up to 60.3 CFM. Static pressure of 0.8 up to 1.74, going all the way up to 7.4 depending on the actual speed of the actual fan, and they are on a 4-pin PWM connector. So the radiator itself is 43mm in thickness. By the time you add both fans on, that then goes up to 93mm in thickness with a height of 153mm. So let's now get inside and actually have a look at the cooler itself. Okay, so we're now going to get inside the box and have a look at this cooler. Flip the tab down there. Oh, there we go. And the first thing that we are greeted by is your user manual, which is also going to tell you how you go about actually installing the actual liquid all-in-one cooler, and also your part list, etc. Quite a simple, easy to follow setup guide, which is really good to see. So we've got the AMD installation on that side as well, so make sure you do give that a good read. As you can see, it comes very well packaged, so I'm just going to move that out of the way, and obviously everything is very nice and neatly tidy. So we've got a box obviously going to contain all the screws and the brackets, and then we have, oh, this is very nice looking. Let me just pull this out. Oh. Put this down to one side, so we'll just close the box up and stick it out of the way. So in this bag here we have got your 2 120mm bearing fans. Very solid in their construction. Black braided cable, fantastic to see, with a black connector. Would have been nice for the cables to continue being black there, but that's not too much of an actual issue. Quite a nice design on the actual fan itself. You can see it spinning around. We will connect this up a little bit later so that you can have a closer look to see what they look like. And then we're going to come on to the actual CPU block as well as the actual radiator. So I'm just going to remove the bag from this, and we're going to take a look. So we're going to start with the actual radiator itself, and as you can see, it's a very, very thick radiator. Got the Enermax branding up at the top here. Looks extremely nice. It's a very, very attractive unit. You can see the actual gap between the actual fins there. Very well constructed. These red strips here look really good. Gives it a nice sort of effect, but also it is actually rubber, so when the actual fan are mounted to this, it's obviously going to help with the actual vibration. So very nice design and implementation from that. But it's a very, very nice looking radiator indeed. Also you can see the actual tubes that are connected into the actual radiator on there as well. See the actual length. There's quite a bit of flexibility with it as well. And then coming on to the actual CPU block itself, let me just try and get this. There we go. So we've got the Enermax branding down the sides here with the Enermax logo on the middle. Again, a very attractive looking CPU block, and also you've got the connectors coming off that. And then we have got wrapped around here quite a long cable, actually, to be fair. A nice black braided cable. Would have been nice to see a black connector on there, obviously for the actual CPU pump itself. Moving on to this side, I'm not going to take this off, but also you've got your copper plate down at the bottom, which is quite a nice size. So yeah, very, very impressed with the actual look of this. The build quality on this, it just feels very, very premium, and I really do like the actual look of the actual radiator. It's not just a sort of plain simple radiator that you do normally find with all-in-one systems. They've actually put a bit of thought into the cosmetic look of this. Very, very good indeed. So let's go and see and do our sort of usual dummy installation and see what the brackets look like. Okay, so we're just going to have a look at the actual accessories box a moment and see what we get inside. Quite a bit of stuff going on the inside here. So we've got a couple of bars here, which I assume are obviously going to be used for connecting the block up. I'm not too sure. I'll have a look in a moment. We've got one thing I was going to criticise the actual cooler on is not having a split PWM fan connector, but as you can see, we have got black one with black connectors. So see, it's only going to take up one header on your motherboard, which is really, really cool. We've got a black back plate here. I'm just going to pull that out. Ooh. There we go, it's quite tight in the actual bag so that we can actually have a look. So see, there's your back plate there. Very nice in its construction. That side for Intel and that side for AMD. And then on the inside here, we've got all the screws that you're going to need. We've got some Enermax thermal paste, and we've also got this little block here along with what looks to be some form of like sticker type thing. So we'll have a look at the manual and we'll see how we'll go with regards to installation. Okay, so I've now got the fans installed onto the LiqTech 120x radiator, and you can see the actual thickness from that. It just looks absolutely fantastic. It's probably one of the most attractive all-in-ones that I've actually come across. And obviously I know that I got the fans on the wrong way round, but I'm just sort of giving you a bit of an idea as to the sort of thickness, what it actually looks like, etc. Looks absolutely bloody fantastic, if you ask me. So what we're going to do now, we're going to go and basically start sort of like the installation process. Okay, so on to the sort of demo installation. As you can see, I've already pushed the screws all the way through and put on these little rubber stops on there. So actually it's quite simple. You just push it through to the relevant socket that you're putting it into. One thing I will point out, these don't actually move around. Once they're actually within their actual relevant slot, they actually stay there, which is something that I actually quite like, because I find it quite annoying when going to install these brackets that they sort of move around, they slide around, but it's a very nice sort of implementation on that. So obviously that's pushed all the way through. You then obviously stick it to your motherboard, and then push these caps. Make sure you're getting them the right way around, so obviously your motherboard will essentially go between there. This little spacer here is for the 775 sockets. Essentially you just pop that on in place, and these here are obviously for your AMD as well as that there, but obviously we're doing an Intel setup on this. So what I'm going to do now is attempt to connect this on to here. So essentially you just pop that down, if I can get it to go. There we go. It's always a bit fiddly when you're not doing it with a motherboard. Unfortunately at this precise moment in time I don't have a spare motherboard. So that's essentially how it goes down. So once you've done that, you then grab these screws here, which obviously got a spring on them. I'm just going to tighten two of them up just so we can pick it up and have a look. There we go. And essentially that's how you more or less install it for an Intel setup. It's quite an attractive looking block, I must admit. Very, very impressed with the actual build quality and the way it actually looks. So let's now power it up and see what it actually sounds like. Okay, so we've actually now got the fans powered up to a PSU, just so that we can actually take a closer look at them. Now on the actual back of the actual fan itself, if I just quickly spin that around, you'll see that we've actually got some writing here, and basically got a little switch on the back here, and that basically controls whether it's in silent mode, performance mode or overclock mode. Silent mode is 600 up to 1300 RPM. Performance mode is in 600 up to 2000 RPM, and then the overclock mode goes up to 2500 RPM. Now at the moment they are set to the lowest setting, the silent mode. I have got it connected via Molex, so this is also going to be running at the fastest possible speed. There's quite a bit of airflow coming from that, not too much noise. And what I'm going to do is just bring my microphone in a little bit closer here, so you can obviously see that's how close the actual microphone is. So with the microphone being that close, what I'm going to do is just going to go and turn the actual fans up to the next mode, which is the performance mode. Just switch the other one a moment. There we go, so we're actually in performance mode, and that's a very, very nice amount of airflow coming from that fan. Knocking it up again one more level. And you can hear that that is now running at 2500 RPM. Obviously with the microphone being quite close to that, obviously I've got something catching on the back of that by the sounds of things. But you can see how fast they're actually going, and the airflow coming from that is absolutely bloody incredible. Okay, so we now got the LiqTech 120x powered up. And I must admit, I don't know what speed the rear fan is actually on at the moment, but this one here is set down to the 600 up to 1300 RPM. So what I'm going to do carefully, flick that up a moment, and there's definitely an increase in noise, but the airflow coming from that is absolutely fantastic. Knock it up one more. And there we go, that's running at full speed, 2500 RPM. My good God, there's a hell of a lot of airflow coming from that. Absolutely fantastic. Also, you do get the increase in the noise, but with it going from 600 up to 2500, it means that, you know, so you're going to potentially be able to overclock your system quite nicely indeed. So I'm just going to flip that back down to the bottom. There we go. And we're now going to have a look at the CPU block itself, and this is actually quite a treat. This looks absolutely fantastic. Just trying to maneuver everything around so that we can actually have a close look. Bear with me, because I don't really want to catch anything. So yeah, there we go. That's what it actually looks like. And we've got a very nice blue glowing LED. Let me just switch the lights off. So there you can actually see, more or less, not quite pitch black, but in the dark, what the actual CPU block looks like with the blue LED behind the Enermax logo. That looks absolutely bloody fantastic. Definitely one of the sexiest all-in-one CPU coolers that I've had the privilege of looking at. So what I'm going to do now is just tell you a little bit more information about it, just go over the actual key specifications and features, and I'll be back to you in a moment. Okay, so at the beginning of the video we went over the technical specifications for the LiqTech 120. We've also had a look at the fans in operation and also at the CPU block as well. So now sort of onto my personal thoughts about the actual cooler itself. Obviously at this precise moment in time I don't know how well exactly it's going to particularly perform, but one thing that I can say is that the overall look of this setup is absolutely amazing. This isn't just your standard 120mm radiator, obviously it's a double thick radiator, but what I mean is it doesn't look sort of just like a radiator. A little bit of thought of that has actually gone into the overall look and design of that, and for me it just looks really real high quality and premium. Where the Enermax logo has gone in, you got the lines, you got the black. It just looks and feels real quality. I like the little red rubber strips that go down the side. Obviously, if you were to push that up against the rear of your case, or obviously with the fans, if you are to run this in dual fan mode, it means obviously you're going to reduce the amount of vibration coming from the actual unit itself. But it just adds to the overall look and feel. And then you come on to the actual water block itself, and again it's just a very nice looking design. I like the blue Enermax logo that's in the middle of the actual water block, and again just sort of like the radiator type fin look to the actual water block, to me just makes it look real quality. The other thing that really impressed me is the fact that Enermax have given you two twister fans for the actual water cooler itself. Not many companies actually provide you with two fans to go alongside this, and I think that's quite a nice little touch. The mounting brackets and the kit used for mounting it onto your motherboard and onto your CPU seems to be very easy to actually use. I like the fact that the switcher between whether you're installing it to a 775 board or an 1150 or 1155 sort of stays in place where the screws are. They don't sort of move up and down. You select which one you have, pull it through, and there you go. It's actually very easy to actually install. Another good thing is the switch on the fans themselves. Obviously you can predefine how high you want the maximum amount of RPM coming from the actual fans. The majority of people will probably have it on the performance mode going up to 2,500 RPM. But obviously if you do want to keep it quiet, and you know that you want to keep it quiet, you can set it down to the silent mode as well. So overall it's just an absolutely fantastic all-in-one CPU liquid cooler. So we hope you liked the unboxing, the overview and the actual video itself. Please leave a comment, leave a like. Don't forget to share the video as well, that would be brilliant, and we'll look forward to seeing you in our next video. We hope you liked our video review. If you did, then please leave a like, as well as any comments or questions you may have down below. Full details and specifications on this item can be found at our website NismoTech.com, along with all the links for purchasing if you wish. Also on our site you'll find our latest reviews and current giveaways, plus a lot more. We look forward to seeing you in our next review.